Hello and welcome to Weekly Dev Tips. I'm Steve Smith, aka Ardalis. This is episode 11, where we'll be talking about encapsulating collection properties. Don't forget, you can follow Weekly Dev Tips on Twitter, as well as in your favorite podcast app. And if you're finding these tips to be helpful, please take a moment to leave a review. That's the best way you can help others discover this podcast. This episode is sponsored by DevIQ. DevIQ offers online training for software developers and designers covering topics like UX, .NET development, and my own course on ASP.NET Core. Check them out at deviq.com. Now let's talk about encapsulating collection properties. Encapsulation, of course, is a key aspect of object-oriented programming and software engineering. Unfortunately, many systems fail to properly encapsulate collection properties, resulting in reduced quality. Encapsulation basically means hiding the inner workings of something and exposing a limited public interface. It helps us promote more modular code that is more reliable because we can verify that the public interface's behavior provides a high degree of confidence that the object will interact properly with collaborators in the system. That is, if we know that the public interface does what it says it does, then we can be confident that the object works correctly with its collaborators. If we don't have encapsulation, then we can test that the system's public interface works correctly, but then the system can still break because some other collaborator in the system wasn't relying on the public interface, but instead was working directly with the underlying state of the object, or was otherwise assuming something about the inner workings of that object. One area in which encapsulation often isn't properly followed is with collection properties. Anytime you have an object that has a collection of related or child objects, you may find this represented as a collection property. If you're using .NET and Entity Framework, this property is often referred to as a navigation property. Some client code can fetch the parent object from persistence using Entity Framework, specify to EF that it should load the related entities, or perhaps use lazy loading, and then navigate from the parent object to the related objects by iterating over an exposed collection property. For example, a customer object might have a set of orders that they've previously placed. This could be represented most simply by having a public list of order property on the customer class. This property must expose a getter in order for collaborators to work with it, and in many cases, system designs will have it also expose a public setter. In that case, any code in a system would be able to set a customer's order collection to any list of orders, or to null.